Hello and welcome to Outside Views. I'm Mark, and today we're diving into a topic that was at the very heart of the Brexit debate. The Brexit and freedom of movement. And this isn't just about political theory, it's about the tangible impacts on millions of lives and countless businesses. Let's explore how a fundamental right transformed into a complex challenge. Before Brexit, freedom of movement was a cornerstone of the European Union and still is for the 27 others. It allowed citizens of member states to live, work, study and travel freely across the bloc without visas or extensive bureaucracy. For the UK, participation brought significant advantages. It provided a ready supply of skilled and unskilled labor, filling gaps in sectors like healthcare, hospitality and agriculture. And UK citizens in turn enjoyed the reciprocal right to retire to sunny Spain, work in bustling Berlin, or study in charming Paris with relative ease. And this free flow of people also facilitated cultural exchange, strengthened academic ties, and boosted trade and services, which makes up a large part of the UK economy. However, despite these advantages, growing discontent over immigration levels and a desire for greater national sovereignty fueled the rise of the Brexit movement. The narrative of taking back control resonated with a significant portion of the electorate, leading to the referendum vote in 2016. The vote to leave ultimately led to the end of free movement for EU citizens in the UK and for UK citizens in the EU on January 1st, 2021. And this meant that the automatic right to live and work across borders ceased. For EU citizens wishing to come to the UK, new visa requirements and immigration policies were introduced based on a points-based system that prioritizes skilled workers, often with a job offer from a sponsoring employer and a specific salary threshold. Similarly, British citizens now face varying national immigration laws and visa requirements if they wish to live, work or study in an EU member state, because they are all sovereign there. Short-term visits of up to 19 days in any 180-day period within the Schengen area remain visa-free, but for anything longer, a visa is required, and passports must meet strict validity criteria. And these changes have created significant challenges for both businesses and individuals, adding layers of bureaucracy, cost and uncertainty to cross-border management. And let's look at some real-world impacts. For British citizens traveling to EU countries, while short holidays are still generally straightforward, longer stays or those involving work require navigating complex visa applications, which can be time-consuming, expensive, and different in every EU country. Some immigrants who moved to the EU before the end of 2020 are protected by the withdrawal agreement, but even they face limitations. For instance, their protected rights generally only apply in their country of residence, not across the entire EU. And the plight of EU nationals living in the UK post-Brexit has also been a major concern. While the EU settlement scheme provided a pathway to secure residency for millions who were already living in the UK, those who missed the deadline or struggled with the application process have faced significant precarity. Many have reported feelings of uncertainty and being unwelcome in a country they had called home. And businesses too have struggled with new regulations. Sectors heavily reliant on EU workers, such as hospitality, social care and agriculture, have reported significant labor shortages. For example, the hospitality sector no longer has easy access to young EU workers for seasonal or temporary roles, leading to staffing crises. Similarly, care homes have faced immense pressure to recruit staff due to the reduced flow of EU care workers, despite recent visa relaxations for the specific sector. The economic and social consequences of restricted movement are far-reaching. On labor markets, the end of free movement has contributed to those skills shortages in various sectors, and that all over across the UK. While overall immigration numbers have remained extremely high, the composition has shifted, with fewer EU workers filling some lower skilled but essential roles. And this has put pressure on wages in some areas and impacted productivity. The impact on trade and investment has also been significant. The increase in administrative burdens and customs checks has made trade with the EU more complex and costly for many businesses, affecting both imports and exports. And some foreign companies have also found the UK a less attractive investment destination due to the reduced access to the EU single market and its talent pool. On a social level, the divisive nature of the Brexit debate and the subsequent changes to immigration policy have unfortunately led to increased social isolation for some migrant communities and at times a rise in prejudice. Maintaining a sense of belonging and navigating cultural differences in a changing society has become a greater challenge for many who previously felt seamlessly integrated. Looking forwards to the future or towards the future, the landscape of freedom of movement remains fluid. The UK is not currently negotiating a return to full freedom of movement with the EU, nor is it part of the Schengen area. However, there are ongoing discussions and evolving immigration policies. For instance, the UK has formally proposed now a reciprocal youth mobility scheme with the EU, aiming to allow young people aged 18 to 30 to live and work temporarily in each other's territories, similar to existing arrangements with countries like Australia. And this represents a, let's say, potential step towards easing some mobility restrictions, though it falls far short of pre-Brexit freedom of movement. The UK government continually adjusts its immigration policies to meet economic needs, and we can expect the landscape to evolve with time and see a lot of changes still. The potential for future changes and adjustments will depend on economic realities, political will especially, and the ongoing dialogue between the UK and the EU. It's a complex and continually developing situation. But what are your thoughts on the impact of Brexit on freedom of movement? Have you or someone you know been directly affected by these changes? Share your experiences and insights in the comments section below, and let's continue this vital discussion. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Outside Views for more in-depth analyses of global issues, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. And the next video is right here in the end screen.